All right, YouTube. As promised, new content. So, hang on a second. I gotta move some. My friend Nico, who is a YouTube subscriber, as I said, loaned me a whole bunch of knives that I am going to carry and everything. But I wanted to get this one out of the way first because I wanted to carry this just because it's freaking gorgeous. And I did use it. I did some cutting. I cut down some cardboard that was laying around and some other stuff, and just wanted to see. I did a quick sharpening on it, and so that it was as sharp as I wanted it, just to see. And I will do some more on it, cutting, just to see how it holds up, edge retention and things like that. But that's not, you know me, I don't do edge testing and things like that. You want that, try to find some of Smoke Eater 908's old videos. But, ooh, wind's kind of chilly. May have to go get a sweatshirt here in a minute. So the first knife that we're gonna review is Nico's Larevo, not Laredo, custom. And I will put a link to it. Forget the name he said it was, the model. But I'll make sure that I check here in a minute. When we do the flip, I will check the text that he sent me. But I have to say, this is a drop-dead gorgeous knife. So you're looking at carbon fiber, it's like possibly shredded carbon fiber, zircon, titanium liners, with a Damasteel blade. Now, as you can see, it's got that fuller that comes down and it makes the profile on that just look like a harpoon. It looks amazing. Pretty versatile, almost a Warrenclyffe, not quite as straight as some of the Warrenclyffes I've got, but I mean, it's got some belly to it. It's got a brass, it's got some brass in here where your two pieces meet here. Now, I will say I'm not a big fan of liner locks, but for a liner lock, this one's pretty amazing. It's got the action on it is, it's pretty smooth, but you can't go wrong with a ceramic detent. Now, I haven't taken it apart. I would assume it rolls on bearings. I could check, and I will definitely make sure before I post the video, but just look at that blade. Just gorgeous. It seems to be holding an edge fairly well. He uses this. This is not, he's like me. He doesn't have any safe queens. So you're also looking at a Damascus backspacer that's actually, I do believe, yep, it is a two-piecer. So it's split down the middle. That's a pretty tight tolerance for that, to be split down the middle for the backspacer. Sorry about that. Apparently my phone decided it wanted to stop videotaping again. Hasn't done that in a while. What I was saying, detent on this knife, it's pretty tight. There's no play. Nice action, really nice action, really smooth.
I meant flipper tab.
On the
sorry,
thumb
not
stud,
thumb stud.
which is a fairly decent design. You can light switch it or push button it, either one. It's got some snap to it. Sculpted pocket clip. I've seen some of the pictures of the other ones that this guy has made, and they look like dragon's tails and things like that. Nice, beautiful blue on that, on all that. You can see it, that's gorgeous. Like I said, Damasteel. First knife I've ever gotten to carry in Damasteel. I've had knives come in that I sharpened that were in Damasteel. Had forgotten about it. I sharpened a Norseman in Damasteel once. But I don't know about how it holds an edge and things like that. So we're going to continue this testing process. But this was just the first of a few videos I got to do. I have a bunch of his knives, so as I sharpen them and carry them. But I wanted to carry this one first because it's just gorgeous. Now, this, I will tell you, is not a knife for me. And there's some, with all handmade knives, there are gonna be some small things. I don't know if you can see it, and I don't know if it was an intentional thing or not, but it kind of is bothersome to me personally because it just feels strange. The backspacer is higher than the handle scales by just a little bit. You can see it just a tiny bit in like one spot right here. In the big scope of things, is that a big deal? No. There's no real gaps. There's no real gaps in between anything. It was milled fairly well, and machined fairly well, and put together very well. It's nice and tight. I would not think about taking this knife apart. But for me, the bulk of this knife is what makes it kind of unwieldy. The pocket clip ends here. You've got a big chunk. It's a rather short pocket clip from here to here. I was afraid all day today because it's fairly tight. It is fairly tight, but just the fact that feels so short. I was really afraid that this would fall out of my pocket, but I'm not doing what I was doing before. I'm not moving around. I sell insurance now. Basically today I was on the phones all day. There's a spot here at the end. I don't know whether that was meant to be a glass breaker, where the backspacer sticks out. That split backspacer sticks out. Not really so bad, but it was catching on a couple things. Caught on the seat belt in the car because it gives you that little. There's a little hook on it there that you can kind of see. So all in all, it's a beautiful knife. It's just a little bit too bulky for me. Even with my big hands, there's just a little bit more bulk there than I'm, not necessarily that I want to carry, but than I'm accustomed to. Because all my other knives are fairly thinner profile. I'm going to get this camera turned around here in a minute. We'll see if we can't get some good close-in looks at this. So if y'all just give me a minute, we'll do that, because really, it is worth looking at. And it, like I said, not a bad user. It's just a little bit more bulk than I want, and it's not too bad on weight though. It's really not. And I'll bring something comparative in weight out so we can look at in size, so you can see. But yeah, it's pretty nice. I've seen some other customs that have come in. Not going to name any. So many issues with some of the custom knives that people are paying a lot of money for, that I've noticed being around people that have them and things like that. So if you look, I believe that color blue is just a couple volts off from what I did my ring at. Probably 30. I did this at 25 or 26 volts. So yeah, hang out and we will flip this around and take a look at it. All right, guys, as you can see, we've got some knives out there here that are in comparison, but yeah, I just wanted to get some good light on this so you guys could see. I mean, that Zircotai is just freaking amazing, gorgeous. Those brass standoffs here. Let's see here. Let's bring this up a little bit, get a better angle. The Damasteel blade, Larevo Knives logo right there. Damasteel is gorgeous. And here's the thing. I've sharpened Damascus steel, and as you can see, I didn't put a full-on, and I did some cutting with it. I didn't put a full-on polished edge on it because I knew I was going to come back and sharpen it again before I gave it to him. But I mean, we're talking, it's hair popping sharp. Yeah, I mean, in the big scope of things, I could have gotten it sharper, I suppose, for, let's see if I can get a better angle on this. So, yeah, I mean, it is. But if you look, you can see it's kind of bulky. Let me close it here. Let's look at comparison-wise. It's a good bit, side by side, it's a good bit thicker than the stuff I normally carry. It's in weight, not that much, but I mean, it's a good maybe 1/4 inch thicker bulk-wise. But I mean, weight-wise, pretty much the same comparison-wise to that. My Riat, my Dave Dang Riat, is almost identical in size Blade size, let's see what it looks like blade size wise. They're pretty comparable in blade size, so any of you guys that know the size of a Reat Horizon D, you're looking at something that's pretty comparable in size. And like I said, the action on it is amazingly smooth. It really, really is. Now this one's not as smooth. It's as smooth as my Archbishop, which I've said is as smooth as any knife I've ever... Oh, I got my finger in the way. Let's see if we can do that again. See if I can get it to just drop. I keep getting my finger on it. Anyway, so we're talking really, really smooth action on this. Now, like I said, you can't beat ceramic detent. You really can't. That's what you're looking at there, is that ceramic detent ball. I don't know if you can be able to see it in there, but there's a ceramic detent ball in there that gives you that super smooth, there it is, gives you that super smooth action. Now, like I said, could this be something I would carry? If I had the money, oh yeah, I'd carry it. But some of these little things that you can see, and I'm not at all going to say anything bad about it, but you can see how smooth this hole is, and then this one's all torn up. I will tell you, shredded carbon fiber is what I made my handle for my large knife that you guys still haven't got to see the finished product because it's still with the guy getting the sheath made because he's been busy, and I told him it wasn't a rush. But this is what happens when you work with shredded carbon fiber. It doesn't want to drill a straight hole. Now that one came out really well, but so that you gotta have a little bit of forgiveness about things like that. So overall, no real issues with quality. There's not really a gap here. Now if you look on this side, there's a little bit of a gap right there where these inlays didn't meet up 100% with that zircotie right there. But I mean, big scope of things, you can't really feel it. Chamfering was all done well, very well. There's this little bit here, and I'm beginning to think that that was intentional, since this sticks out here, this sticks out here, but it's one of those things that would bother me personally. That's some dirt that I got all on it. Blade centering, this is dead center. You know, you'd expect for what you'd pay for something like this, the blade centering is dead center. It's not completely, if you look at it, dead center. I think that there's no centering on that, but the grind might be a little bit off on this a little bit, but I mean, not enough that you would really notice too much. I love that the collar around the pivot screw. So it's a double-sided pivot screw. And yes, I know a lot of people don't like the fact that Elliot uses a free spinning pivot, but if there's some science behind why that's every bit as strong as a larger pivot. And I'm going to get Elliot to do a video and explain that. Oh yeah, hey, check it out. I did some custom anodizing. I did my own little two-tone deal here. So you got a little bit of yellowish green underneath, and then polished it, did some blue on top. Now pocket clip, that comes that way, but so if you look at it dead on, it looks green, but then you move it and you get some blue on that end. See how you get some blue there, and then it turns back and you get some blue and green. Yeah, I know, that's not what this was about. So anyway, like I said, all in all, amazing, nice knife. So I will definitely be putting a link to the Larevo Customs at the bottom in case anyone's interested in it. I really am so happy that I'm getting to put some stuff on my channel that you guys haven't gotten to see before, or may have seen, but not on my channel. So I said, I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate you guys being out there. Now, I'm going to turn this back around and we'll play with it a little bit looking at me. All right, guys. So, and I have to apologize. I'm not going to go back and change it, and I'm not going to reshoot the video. It's Larevo knives, Jason Overall. And like I said, I will put a link to him here. And this was the Raston. That was the model. He's got a couple that he's made with some stuff that looks like white dragon scale and things like that. So, they are nice knives, very nice knives. Now, I don't know price point. I'm not nosy. I'm not gonna ask Nico what the price of this knife was. If he chooses to, because I know he's a follower, Crayboard, if he decides to go ahead and put that, I will pin that comment if he decides to do that. But I'm not nosy enough. I don't ask people what they paid for knives. But I do know that this was not cheap. It couldn't be. It's Damasteel. A Damasteel blade is gonna... Damasteel blade makes a knife $400 more at the cheapest. So, yeah. Yep. Probably gonna carry it a couple more days. Looks nice in my slacks. Really does. Like I said, my biggest thing was I would like a bigger pocket clip, but it's done well. Hidden hardware. I'd much prefer to have, I don't necessarily like, I'd rather have a frame lock, a full frame lock, than a liner lock. I don't know why. I mean, it's the same action. I just don't feel that it's the piece is thin. And I just don't feel that I get the same action, and a lot less locking surface. If you look in there, but I mean, it's pretty good lockup. It's really, it's not late, it's not too early. It's right where I would want my lockup. Probably about 40%, maybe, not quite 50%. Like I said, the jimping on it's nice. I like the jimping on the. I like the jimping on there. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. There'll probably be some little updates about it. You know, when I get done, I'll go through all the knives. I'll put them all together after I get done, and just do like one video of all his knives. I think the next one I'm going to try to pocket for a while is the Mini Typhoon, Sharp by Design. Brian. Can't think of his name now. Brand Nadeau. Sharp by Design. That is such a smooth knife. And I just want to carry it for a few days. But I do have my buddy Mario's knife that I have to carry some and sharpen, and I got to sharpen all these. I do know that there's a couple people that have said they would like to. Well, there was one person that said they would like to see all of my knives that I own, like a collection video. It'd be quick. I wouldn't get into all of it. I would just basically lay it all out so you guys could see it. But that means everything. And while you guys have seen the row of knives that I keep on my bedstand, underneath my bedstand, there's a whole drawer full of knives that I would want to throw in there as well. Fixed blades and some specialty use knives, and you guys have seen some of them, but you've never seen all of my knives out at once. So I would have to clean off the workbench, and that would be one that would be, it'd be longer-ish. So yeah, I was up at Chris and Elliot's for the meetup. Like I said, met a couple of you guys that are followers. It would be cool. I would love to meet all of my followers, but I know they're spread out. I've got a couple people that follow me from overseas, but that would be nice. I would like to meet some of my followers. It was kind of cool. It was odd for me at first. It was kind of weird. I felt awkward. You know, these people kind of know more about me, way more about me than I know about them. So it put me in an awkward position at first. But you know, once I warmed up to the idea, it was pretty cool that I got to meet some of my followers. So if any of you guys are in the San Diego area, let me know. I have no problem talking to you guys in person. We'll come out to Elliot's shop. We'll have a beer. You guys can look around Fair and Forge. I'll just make sure Elliot knows. I am going to try to do a video with Elliot. He's so busy, but I want to try and do a video with Elliot to dispel these problems that people have with his small pivot and the free spinning pivot. There's reasons behind it, and if you know what you're doing, it's not hard. Not to hurt anybody's feelings. I watched Nick Sabaz doing a video about, now I've got to put, if you take one of these knives and you push down and put some tension on that pivot, you can unlock it. And if it does get Loctited, you can heat it up with a lighter and take that right out if you just put a little bit of pressure over and then just unscrew it. I've tightened this one up a few times because I broke the Loctite loose in it when I was adjusting it after it got dropped one time. And the other thing is there's some science behind a smaller pivot can be as strong because of the material that's around it. But I will let Elliot allude to all those things because he's amazingly intelligent and can probably speak to it better than I can as to why he does what he does. I mean, I know he does his videos, but you know, the more people that can get it out there, because people, oh, these cheap, you know, using cheap construction. It's not cheap construction. I'm gonna tell you right now. If anything, it's well thought out that allows the knife to fail at specific areas, which is something that he said. Oh, listen to that action. That's one of the things. You don't get that in a $60 or $70 knife. You get that. Ooh, cut myself with my own knife. So yeah, that's it. Just excited that I'm getting to do videos again, and I'm excited about it. So I had kind of gotten into a funk where I wasn't even feeling like doing any videos, but now I will get more content put up, and even if it's just silly things that just pop into my head. So y'all just take it easy, and I will talk to you later.